Have you ever wondered how successful bank robbers manage to pull off their heists without getting caught? How do they plan and execute their crimes with such precision? What are the key factors that make a bank heist successful? There's no denying that the art of bank robbery has captured the public's imagination for decades. In this video, we will take a closer look at some of the most successful bank robberies in history and explore the key elements that made them possible. So, grab your ski mask and get ready to learn the secrets of successful bank heists. Back in August of 2005, a well-organized group of burglars carried out a daring heist at the Fortaleza branch of Banco Central, the renowned Brazilian central bank. The intricate scheme was a result of meticulous planning that had been ongoing for several months. The group, comprising 25 individuals, set out to dig a 256-foot tunnel from their base across the road, using a fake landscaping company as a cover-up. This process took them a total of 3 months to complete, emphasizing their commitment to the heist's success. After successfully disabling the bank's alarms, the team slowly and methodically moved 3.5 tons of physical cash, taking their time to ensure they covered all their tracks. It was not until the following Monday morning that the shocking burglary was discovered. Bank staff was left in disbelief when they calculated their losses, which amounted to an astounding $70 million. The sheer scale of the robbery, combined with the level of planning and execution, left the authorities stunned and struggling to apprehend the culprits. The money stolen from Banco Central during the 2005 heist was not insured, and the bills were not numbered sequentially, which made them almost impossible to trace. Consequently, to this day it remains one of the most significant heists in history, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Interestingly, the final bank robbed by this particular thief only yielded a relatively small sum of money, around $800 to $900. The choir boy robber case, orchestrated by Tom Justice, spans across multiple states, including Illinois, California, and Wisconsin. The robbery schemes crafted by Gaynor and Gurwitz are intricate and involve a large number of individuals, leaving room for many variables to go awry. Gaynor and Gurwitz's heist designs are extremely complex and involve multiple players, making them vulnerable to a lot of potential failures. However, as the saying goes, sometimes simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. In Justice's case, he relied on a straightforward approach rather than overcomplicating the process. He would enter a bank alone, approach a teller, present a note demanding money, and quietly exit the building. A method that aligns with the majority of bank robberies according to FBI statistics. Tom Justice is also the mastermind behind a series of successful bank robberies, earning the nickname Choir Boy Robber from the FBI due to his calm demeanor during heists. Justice would calmly fold his hands and place them on the counter while keeping his head slightly bowed, which gave him an unassuming appearance. Prior to conducting his initial robberies, Justice was a meticulous planner, practicing and perfecting his technique. Justice's bicycle served as his getaway vehicle, and he would carefully choose a location to leave it unlocked while robbing the bank. He would also spend several months observing the police patterns, counting steps and taking notes before executing his plan. His attention to detail and careful planning paid off, as he managed to steal almost $130,000 from 26 banks across 3 states, Illinois, California, and Wisconsin, over the course of 4 years. During his final heist, Justice was questioned by a police officer as he was leaving the scene. In a moment of panic, he abandoned his custom-made racing bike and fled on foot. Although the police did not apprehend him on the spot, they were able to trace the bike back to Justice, which ultimately led to his arrest and conviction. As a consequence of his actions, Justice was sentenced to 9 years in prison and was released in 2010. The choir boy robber case is a testament to the fact that crime does not pay, and that even the most skilled and meticulous criminals can eventually face justice. Throughout history, banks have always been a target for robbers, with some motivated by a sense of justice, like the legendary Robin Hood, while others are driven by good old-fashioned greed. The latter motive is most common, with robbers often demanding large sums of cash. However, in some cases the demands can be more specific, as was the case with a particular robber who would demand that the bank teller hand over all their 50s and 100s. Ilona Gaynor is a London-based designer and artist whose work has been influenced by fellow artist Janice Kerbel. Gaynor's interest lies in exploring the feedback loop between real-life heists and their representation in Hollywood movies. Between 1960 and 2000, Los Angeles, California was considered the bank robbery capital of the world, with over 2,500 reported robberies per year at its worst. In fact, In 1983, LA had more bank robberies than the next four highest cities: New York, San Francisco, Portland, Oregon, and Sacramento combined. Although the city's bank robbery statistics have decreased significantly since then, with only 212 reported cases in 2013, some speculate that LA's physical layout may have played a role in its infamous reputation. Gaynor posits that Hollywood's influence on heist iconography may also have played a part in LA's notoriety. In keeping with the spirit of the Hollywood-style heist, Gaynor designed an intricate heist set in LA as a spectacle. Her plan involved a plane crashing into One Wilshire, a high-rise building that houses computer servers, which serves as a distraction for the emergency responders. While this is happening, 5 banks in the immediate vicinity are being robbed. Gaynor's plan involves drilling concentric circles into the banks, extracting the vaults, and transporting them away in a truck. Upon completion, Gaynor's work will feature model reconstructions, short films, sculptures, and photographic prints that retell the story of the heist. To fund her project, she launched a Kickstarter campaign in 2013. Desperation can sometimes lead people to attempt risky crimes like bank robberies. In one recent case in California, a man was convicted of stealing $2,500 from a bank while wearing a distinctive t-shirt, which was captured on surveillance footage. The man's desperation to obtain the money led him to take a high-risk approach, ultimately leading to his arrest and conviction. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to an increase in unemployment rates, and in some cases, individuals have resorted to bank robbery as a means of survival. For instance, Edwin Harold lost his job during the pandemic and became homeless, leading him to rob a bank. Despite his unfortunate circumstances, he was sentenced to over 3 years in prison. On the other hand, some bank robbers carry out their crimes for the thrill of it. Clay Toomey, a 26-year-old Texan in 2005, embarked on a solo bank robbing spree, driven by the desire to test bank security. He revealed that he had thought to himself, if I can just walk in here and not be recognized by anybody, I could probably just rob the place. His successful heists seemed to be a gateway drug into bank robbery, leading him to commit more robberies. Bank robbery can be an equal opportunity profession, with successful heists carried out by individuals from all walks of life. As Clay Toomey's story highlights, all you need is a strong self-belief and a simple plan. In his case, he used a plain note with just 3 succinctly written lines to rob banks without any violence or accomplices. The note simply stated, "Give me your 50s and 100s. This is not a joke. I'm not going to hurt you." Meet Russell Gewirtz, the man behind the perfect heist in the movie Inside Man. Back in the early 2000s, Russell Gewirtz didn't consider himself a writer. He had no experience in filmmaking nor any connections to the glamour of Hollywood. Instead, he was an everyday guy working in the real estate industry. However, as he walked past an empty bank on his way to work each day, he couldn't help but ponder the concept of the perfect heist. After much contemplation, Gewirtz came up with a unique idea. What if the hostages were disguised as the robbers themselves? This way, once the robbery was over, it would be difficult for the police to distinguish who was who. To implement the unique concept of disguising the hostages as the robbers, Gewirtz had them put on the same outfits that the robbers wore in the movie Inside Man. However, the switcheroo alone wasn't enough. Gewirtz realized that the robbers needed a way to transport their loot out of the bank without being detected. He came up with a brilliant solution. The robbers constructed a small cell in the bank's basement, cleverly concealed behind some shelves. This cell had a false wall that allowed them to store the stolen goods until it was safe to move them. One of the robbers stayed hidden inside the cell for an entire week until the police had finished collecting evidence and it was safe for them to leave undetected with their loot. The 1995 film Heat, directed by Michael Mann, has become a recurring topic in interviews for this story. Remarkably, everyone interviewed named Heat as their all-time favorite heist movie. In fact, as Justice disclosed, Heat is the #1 movie among convicts in prison. The movie has indeed made an indelible impression on viewers from all walks of life. Interestingly, the movie seems to have even inspired some criminal activities, as an actual robbery on a Bank of America in 1997 unfolded in a manner strikingly similar to the events in Heat. This coincidence raised suspicions among some people, including artist Ilona Gaynor. The North Hollywood shootout that ensued, just like in the movie, culminated in a violent exchange of gunfire between the robbers and the police. Thus, the impact of Heat on the cultural psyche and its portrayal of an intricate heist and high-stakes criminal activity have not only captured the imagination of movie enthusiasts, but have also left an impression on real-life events. The Hatton Gardens heist of 2015 was a highly publicized incident that served as a striking reminder of the impact of modern technology on criminal activity. The group of robbers, who were all seasoned professionals with extensive criminal records, managed to pull off a daring heist that involved stealing millions of pounds worth of cash and jewelry from London's Diamond District. The success of their meticulously planned operation was, unfortunately, short-lived, as they were soon apprehended by the authorities. It is worth noting that the geriatric gang did not make any significant mistakes during the heist itself. Instead, their downfall was a direct result of their inability to keep pace with advancements in modern technology. Despite not leaving any fingerprints or other physical evidence at the scene of the crime, their digital trail proved to be their undoing. Upon investigation, it was discovered that one of the robbers had conducted online searches related to drilling and had even purchased a copy of Forensics for Dummies. As modern technologies continue to evolve and become more sophisticated, it is becoming increasingly difficult for criminals to evade detection and prosecution. Law enforcement agencies are leveraging the power of technology to identify, track, and apprehend suspects, and it is essential for criminals to adapt to these advancements if they hope to succeed in their criminal endeavors. A new wave of lawbreakers, mainly from the younger generation, is trying to move bank heists to the virtual world, with varying degrees of success. As technology advances, the days of physically entering a bank to steal money could be a thing of the past. One notable instance of this trend occurred in 2016, when the Lazarus Group, a shadowy cohort of North Korean hackers, nearly pulled off an incredible heist worth $1 billion from the Bangladeshi National Bank without stepping foot inside the building. The group is not just stealing money for personal gain, but on behalf of the North Korean regime. It was revealed in the aftermath of the event that the group responsible for the heist had been quietly lurking within the Bangladesh bank's computer systems for an entire year prior to the fateful day. Their initial point of entry was via a familiar and sadly common tactic utilized by hackers: a deceptive email. From there, the skilled cyber criminals managed to maneuver their way through the bank's networks, seamlessly jumping from one system to another in a process that spanned several months. On the morning of February 5th, however, bank staff noticed an unusual malfunction with one of their printers located on the 10th floor. When transactions are processed from Bangladesh Bank to other institutions, they're typically conducted via the SWIFT system. However, a couple of days later, when the printer was fixed, the bank staff noticed that the printer had started printing out the transfers. It revealed that the hackers had attempted to transfer approximately $1 billion. The bank staff immediately realized that something was wrong and took steps to stop the transfers. Unfortunately, they were only able to save $81 million, and the bank suffered significant reputational damage. As a result, the bank's governor was forced to resign. While information regarding the group responsible for the hack remains limited, the FBI has provided extensive details on one particular suspect, identified as Park Jin-hak. This individual is also believed to have played a role in the high-profile hacks of Sony and the WannaCry cyber attack on the National Health Service. It is widely believed that the culprit behind the heist fled to North Korea in the aftermath of the crime. However, should this individual resurface, they may face a potential prison sentence of up to 20 years. With that said, thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more. And if you found this content helpful, give the video a like. See you in the next video. Till then, take care.